Why are you playing Blorbus of all things? Because it's now a Princess Maker game. That is why. That is why. Give me a second to get a thing up. But yeah, it is now a Princess Maker game. That is why. Because apparently after the last story event ended, we need to have Jia Shishun go through a training arc, which involves Kim Ji-hoon just turning the game into a fucking Princess Maker. I think. I honestly don't know what he's planning on doing. All I know is at the end we fight a horse. That's all I know, because I did the weekly dungeon and chose the new event as my dungeon. Just gonna go through that. Let's take a look. So, where is it? Not that. Where are you? A horse. Yeah, Uma. We are fighting an Uma. Let's see. Yeah. Forget where we're going. So, I see they're capitalizing on the Uma craze. I guess so, yeah. So, the new, just go over this, because I tried to do this and it didn't work out so well. The new event people are Uma Yi-sang, and I think that's it. Yeah, there's no ego associated with it. It's Uma Yi-sang. That's it. Uma Musume being a Princess Maker like game is lost to me. No, it's. I mean, it straight up is just that. It straight up is just that, but with a gotcha element and horse racing. Let's go into it. So, I have no reward. I have no currency, which is into Zhiyang Ren, and you get Heisho Prek-yo, which is I forget what yo is in the I think that might be crane. Have you seen how Uma Musume works? Yeah, don't you like you pick a train, you pick like a training type, and then to raise an Uma, you pick your Uma, you pick a train type, you pick your trainer card, you raise her stats, and you keep doing that until you get to a race. And then once you get to the race, you just watch how it races. I'm trying to think of what, yeah, but there's a burn rupture ID. I forget what yo means in, Chinese. Give me a second. I have to look this up. Oh.
Hi, honey.
Hi, honey. Who did that? That was Kirby. Yeah, hello. Let's see. Animal Chinese. The toad's it's a zodiac sign. I know that. Yeah, of course. Well, no, I had to check. I always had to double check. You pick a scenario, customize with side characters, events, and play through it. With each scenario, how you use gameplay elements. Yeah, yeah. It is compelling, but it's still just like a princess. It is like a princess builder. Let's see. Chinese Zodiac, yo. Chinese Zodiac. I'm trying to find out what this actually is. Semi procedural story game, yeah. Let's see. Where the hell is this? Oh, here we go. There it is. So, okay. Animal. Shunyu Hu Tu Long, which is dragon, of course. She, which is a snake. Ma Wu, yeah. Yang Ho, monkey. Probably monkey. Or no, yo is rooster. Yo is rooster. So yeah, it's rooster. So we get a rooster. And then yeah, Wu branch is yeah, so this was it? That is Sinclair Rooster. That is Rooster Claire. I forgot. Yeah, Cock Claire. That's what we're doing. So, oop. Just getting back. My cat just is a fucking gremlin, which I guess is better than that. It's like he annoys the hell out of you, but he's still like pretty active at least. All was chill with the tense air, and those present all sat in complete silence. And then there was Jia Yanshun with her lips slightly curled into a mirthless sneer. And at the center of it all sat Jia Xixin, unsure of what to say next. Well, everyone. Jia Yanshun, seated next to the hierarch seat upon which Xixin sat, smoothly takes control of the situation and begins the assembly. Honored heads of houses, lords of family, their proxies, members, and... She nods lightly, acknowledging our awkward presence. And little Xixin's guests who stay here at our H court seem to be extending without a foreseeable end. Yeah, because fucking Vergilius took the van. He took the car, and he took the kid. Yumaya's pretty active. She's just over a year old, but she's taken as a stray, so maybe some injury. Yeah, probably. That makes sense. Let's see. Is she technically from Q Corp? What's with her acting like she's any less of an outsider than we are? Yeah, and didn't anyone catch that RH Corp? Yeah. Regardless of everything else, the fact that she hijacked the meeting from the get-go was ridiculous, especially with Jia Xixin, the family hierarch herself, presiding over this official assembly. Yeah, that's kind of fucked. That's actually kind of fucked. Clearly, she is using the pretense of assisting the hierarch to assert her own dominance over these proceedings. As we all know, the venerable former Jiamu has always discussed with and confided in me about the matters of greatest import, the momentousness of which steered the very course of H Corp's prospects. Even after I departed the family for Q Corp, venerable former Jiamu was always written Mrs. to confer such matters to me. Something about it smelled suspicious, but we'd already missed the window to challenge her to present us with proof without breaking decorum. Thus, as it naturally follows that I would be the inheritor of Venerable Jiamu's will, I shall be presiding over this regular assembly, which we convene now to discuss and determine the future of H Corp. What a grandiose and self-important introduction. It seemed clear to me that she considered herself to be the main character of the scene or something. I mean, she does have that energy, but she is not her. Your grace certainly fits your station, Lady Yanshun. Obsequious board member, yeah. We are all impressed by your utmost dedication to the citizenry of Hangyuan, despite your already saturated schedule. Yeah, there's a Xixing. We can only thank you enough for your magnanimity, Lady Yanshun. Ah, my parents, a true shame that they couldn't be here. I've always sung praise of your expertise, Lady Yanshun. Response from the participants are just as protracted, only obsequious instead of arrogant. As heads of some of those houses were under investigation for consorting with the forces foreign to Hangyuan, their vacuum was filled by their children's generation, many of whom we had the pleasure of meeting during the Hierarch War. And shall we? Welcome, Jia Xixin, the next person to sit upon the seat of Hangyuan's family hierarch. Greetings, I am... Now, let us... What the fuck, Jianshun? For many years, there's no gathering out toil day and night for the eternal prosperity and growth of H Corp. Jia Xixin's expression immediately sours as Yanshun unceremoniously cuts off her self-introduction. First thing in agenda for this assembly are discussions and passages of the new major policy that has been tabled for far too long. Distributive contribution rights auctioning policy, quarterly amnesty policy. Hold on, big sister Yanshun. Passing distributive contribution rights auctioning policy would allow the open auction for any remaining rooms the day before reconstruction days, and the quarterly amnesty wouldn't do anything but give unfair advantage to certain families and high net worth value individuals by guaranteeing them large real estate at times regardless of their performance in the previous quarter. Xixin starts a little flustered before continuing. My point is these policies are going to rattle H Corp's economy the moment they go into effect. Besides, these policies are pretty much drawn into favor lining the pockets of a select few families and higher-reaching officials of H Corp. If I may, Venerable Hierarch, lining the pockets, that is quite an odd turn of phrase to refer to the bare minimum respect that society might repay to its highest contributing members, don't you think? Shut the fuck up! Before I continue, Xixin, I'm not entirely certain if you're aware, but ever since the ascension of a new family hierarch, the perceived value of Hangyuan has been racing for the, lack of a better word, rock bottom. Wow. Yeah, they were racing for the bottom. Clearly, this demonstrates Hangyuan's concern and its lack of faith in the newly appointed family hierarch. Therefore, it naturally follows that our most urgent task at hand is to put a stop to this value and reputation freefall and restore prosperity and greatness to Hangyuan once again. Yeah, okay, and that's the founding hierarch's job, right? Why are you? If you had perused H Corp's articles of association, you would have known that should H Corp be deemed to be in a state of crisis, the four great houses and the board of directors' voice may also carry de facto power in the assembly. And the board of directors, that's us, has determined that we are now in a state of crisis. What crisis? Everything that led to my ascension to the family hierarch was legitimate down to the final approval. These unseemly errors and these unseemly rumors and slander are tanking our value, and we have built up assiduously up through years upon years of toil. So what is this if not a state of crisis? And who wouldn't doubt the new family hierarch's qualities when this decline has coincided precisely with her ascension? God, fuck you! I already hate Yanshun. Janshun was somehow turning the room against Jishin without presenting a single shred of evidence, portraying her as some burdensome hierarch who is now single-handedly tanking H Corp's value. No one in the assembly, not a single representative from any of the families present, except to point out that how Jishin's swift actions were what finally repelled outside forces that had marched right up to Hangyuan's front yard. And how she deftly maneuvered her forces to quell the embers of war by quickly taking control of the chaos within Dangwonyan. She hasn't shown any glaring signs of competence since her ascension despite her relative inexperience, but... Everyone in Hangyuan's board of directors, the heads of each family, averted their eyes as though if it all had somehow inconceivably slipped their minds. Yeah, they're completely downplaying her actual like contributions to what had happened and saving the fucking wing from a war in favor of just we need more money. How do you take yourself to be a qualified individual for that responsibility, Jishin? Very well, then proceed. We're all waiting for you to begin your briefing before the assembly regarding the last 30 years quarterly net revenue records for Hangyuan singularity-related businesses, your calculators for next year's fiscal debt forecast, and the exact recipe and variation numbers for the bonuses that have been registered for the last 5 years. That's, the Venerable Hierarch has not received that data prior to the meeting. You must all be aware of the chaos that followed the ascension. We are still indexing all available materials too. Isn't that funny? Not once in the history of Hangyuan has the family hierarch ever failed to provide immediate and detailed answers regarding Hangyuan's historical statistics. Yeah, because it was all fucking burned. It's locked away. Oh no, because the worm. The fucking worm is gone. But nobody knows about the worm. She must have known how the previous family hierarchs were all directly supplied with an immense repository of information through the Jiahuang worm or something of the equivalent. When she didn't get to target Jishin's weakness, knowing asking questions that she, the first family hierarch without the Anamno worm, couldn't possibly answer. The responsibilities tied to the venerable seat of the hierarch, Xia Mu, are matched only by the great power bestowed upon it. Thus, how are we to lead the matters of the wing to someone who is so evidently unprepared for the task? Given the present circumstances, our hands may be forced to call to vote the motion no confidence. This is not fucking Star Wars, Yanshun. We are not doing that shit. Motion no confidence. Motion of confidence, when passed by the higher-ranking political officials, can result in the removal of the chief executive from office. So they're going after Jishin's power. So this is the picture Yanshun wanted to paint. But the family hierarch stammering and stumbling through the first meeting to the total and near unanimous lack of support from the H Corp board of directors. Whatever jargon they're on about, seems to me they've got an unannounced respect for the last or us. Never trust twats overly obsessed with numbers and optimizations. They'll be the first ones to kick you out the moment they no longer see you as useful. You're not the only one who's pissed off, so can you please stop shaking your leg for a second? You don't need to make our frustration any more obvious, you know. Marius would have let the chair long go if it weren't for this lass. The H Corp to the board of directors unanimously voted in favor of the motion. Certain parts of the family hierarch's powers will be removed. It is entirely possible she will become a hierarch in name only. Oh, so they're threatening to fire her unless she falls in line. This is a needlessly convoluted way to... The assembly will not consider the motion of no confidence. Are there any objections to bringing the motion of no confidence against the family hierarch Jishin to the floor? Hold on, the vote of no confidence isn't an item you can invoke so lightly. The Shi family has no objections. Let's say the Wong family has no objections either. to a family too. The arrest of the previous family has seems to have changed precisely nothing. Those in power wore more youthful faces, but their tongues still carry the same old resistance to change. The new family heads were just as uncooperative as ever, and everyone seems to be solely interested in staying in Jia Yanshin's good graces. New faces, same old. And you say Heathcliff was the only sinner fuming with rage. Oh, fuck God, Don. Damn it, Don. Just far too vexed to simply watch and do not. Right? I knew you wouldn't let this slide, Don Quixote. They're walking all region like she's not even here. Forsooth, we cannot let such injustice transpire unabated. It seems we're both on the same page. That's it. I'm not going to hesitate to make myself heard again. This time I'm going to be courageous. With your help, Don Quixote. Come on, let's do this together. Oh, okay? Very well. I am in agreement. Then let's go on 3 at the same time. If there are no objections, 1, 2. The assembly will put the resolution to vote in a month, and 3. Here, objection! God fucking damn it. Hold on 1 second. I gotta see if it's actually in here. Do I have it? Please say I have it. Let's see. Let's see. Is it? Yep, there we go. Okay, we're done with that. We're done with that. Oh, you got mental. Also, how you doing, Forerunner? Sinclair stood tall at the center of the entire room in divine astonishment alone. Did Don just fucking leave him? Eh? Don Quixote, still firmly in her seat, gazed upon Sinclair's proud stand and rubbed her nose. Sinclair, thou hast defaulted indeed. What an unmitigated pursuer of justice thou hast become. With such unrelenting fervor and utter disregard for decorum. Certainly, my endeavors have finally borne fruit. Whoa, what the hell? Did Don Quixote or Heathcliff suddenly rub off on you or something? No. What happened? Don, we were going to... What happened to injection together? Oh, I take it that's just we must voice our dissatisfaction to the official channels, borrowing the titles of the illustrious renegades in the department of the LCC. What? Don was going to actually follow the rules? I am baffled. She was going to actually follow the fucking rules and go through the proper channels to voice concern. Real freak with this funny as fuck. Yeah, we're getting to the point where we actually have to play a Princess Maker game at least. Disputes in succession of power and such a high level of government are hardly ever resolved with rash grandstanding. What's thou not agree? Why are you normal all of a sudden? This is the best line ever from him. Why are you normal all of a sudden? I was like, I'm saying this to somebody. Yeah, I gotta send this to a friend. Why are you normal? Lad, what just happened? What happened to the clammy meek boy? Well, that's... I guess I just assume this is how Limit's company rolls now. There seems to have been an unexpected outburst from Jishin's guests. Withdraw your objection, or we will consider this a momentary loss of control and not entered as an official statement. It was, Sinclair's eyes were shaking like someone with his life on the line. He's playing Goo Goo Babies with his life on the line. If not, I take it they have full confidence in her abilities. But please, I encourage you to elaborate. When and how will Jishin demonstrate her attitude for the responsibilities of the family hierarch? His voice continues to shrivel into a corner. He can't. How could anyone, when all we had a very clear view of her path to ascension, During the family hierarch evaluation, Xiaoba Yu donated the coins he received from Xia Chu to you. Essentially, you pity-parted your way to victory. What? No, not pity-partied. And for your ascension, Xia Chu and those outsiders from an upstart company had to almost literally carry you to the seat. Has there ever been a single victory attained by your own hands in that entire process? There was a lot more involved. She got fucking kidnapped and was almost killed. But have we not all been witness to the quality she exhibited during the family hierarch evaluation and her own ascension? Must have no shame snaking your forked tongue in the audience of both heaven and earth like an unwitting buffoon. That's when quiet, even footsteps broke through Jia Yanshin's merciless advancing of Jia Xixin. Is Gong Chu back? Yep. Oh no, it's Zhigong. Yes, I see the point. The hierarch, with her grace, needs only demonstrate her already established qualifications before all. There's no place for an outsider to speak, but proceed. Just how will she prove herself before us? What an odd statement coming from a fellow outsider who's been chattering for minutes on end. Forgive me, I could only presume from your verbosity that the right to speak on this forum was open to all outsiders. I love Zhigong, she's so good. You said it yourself, no? That the vote of the no confidence resolution will proceed in a month. That seems to give the venerable hierarch a month to regain the trust of each family. What? It is rather clear to me that there are many who find their own defeat in the family hierarch war difficult to accept. There's doubt is easily resolved. The match between clans should lay out the results quite obviously. Very well. A fair challenge between clans, which would preclude the participation of the family hierarchs Heishu Pax and the Jialang guards. So you remove her Pao and Zhu before the game even begins. Yeah, yeah, Cannon and Chariot. So yeah, oh yeah, I forgot. Zhigong actually talks in chess terms. She talks in not shogi. What is it? Let's see. Nice chess. Zhangqi. She talks in terms of Shang-Chi, or yeah, why make this a test series of sparring match in both academia and martial arts if such is the case? What audacity, do you truly have that much faith in Jia Xixin's abilities? You must know the consequences of failing these matches, no? It will be unanimous, one-sided end to the vote of no confidence, and naturally, any and all rights appertaining to the family hierarch shall be transferred to the board of directors. That's fine by us. You're free to choose any champion whom you see fit. Unfortunately, your underlings don't seem to share your inflated confidence. Hey, Jank, how's it going? I am never going to fucking say that. Iris will sue me. I do not want to be on the other end of an Iris attack. We're going through the visual novel portion before we actually have to play a Princess Maker. Slash Uma Musume clone, whatever. But in the midst of the confused, flabbergasted silence from the others, then there's a clear, carefree, yet defiant voice rings out. Hong Lu's retort. That's not true at all, big sister Yanshun. We actually have just as much confidence in Zixun as she does. It's why I stare directly and unblinkingly into Jia Yanshun's. It occurred to me that this might be his way of expressing anger. Impudent chat, how dare he stare down at me like that? Then you are welcome to try. Do I have Princess Maker? No, I do not. But from what I'm told and from what I've seen, Limbus Company decided to add a Princess Maker minigame into their newest event, which is what this is. 1 month. Yeah, but 1 month to prove to me before all in audience that she is indeed fit to be the family hierarch. Should you fail, the vote may as well be a mere formality. I do have Long Live the Queen, though. I do have that, I believe. Let me double check to see if I actually have that on Steam. I've wanted to play that for a while. I'm just really fucking bad at it. I do own Long Live the Queen. I bought it last year. In other words, should she successfully prove herself, none of you shall again rightly challenge the independent rights and powers bestowed upon the family hierarch. There's a new one, Volcano Princess. Let me take a look at this. Give me a minute. Because, I will say Princess Maker games have never really been my strong suit. They've never been something that I was really too into. I do appreciate them. I want to try to get into them, but anything that is like basically just like stat sheets and nothing but stat sheets is really, really hard for me to get into unless there's like some sort of visual element to it. And I understand Uma Musume is that, but I can't really get into Uma Musume just because it's a gacha, and I'm trying to limit my gacha spending and gacha expenditures in both time and money. Most gachas take a lot of time to play, not necessarily money. What is it? Volcano Princess. Let me take a look here. Let's see. For the next month, fighting her hobbies, training her for battle, and friend the sisters. So one day, wait, what? So, Volcano Princess is a Princess Maker Slay the Spire crossover. I stick to Nikkei after my paychecks were drained by FGO years ago. Yeah, the only gacha that I play right now are Limbus Company, which I don't spend money on, and Zenless Zone Zero, which I spend very little money on. But the thing is, they take a lot of time to play. Not Limbus Company. Limbus Company is like, maybe I take 5 minutes to play a week. Oh no, what's 1 hour a week, basically. But yeah. Because look at the screenshot of Volcano Princess. Where is it? Let me actually just show my screen real quick. Scenes. I'm just gonna. Where the hell are my desktop? This. That. Limits is a little. Limits is a lot of reading. Limits is a lot of reading. And let me do something real quick here because I need to move the canvas. Let's see. All right. Need to unlock this. There you go. That was bothering me. That was fucking bothering me. It's a little bit better now. Still not the best, but a little bit better. The consequences of such recalcitrance would be no different than those that the traders are facing. Wouldn't you agree? Well, then we'll excuse ourselves for now. The gong turns around towards us with the same mysterious smile and slowly directs us outside the assembly hall. You may call them sparring matters, but you know that each and every one of them is a test to prove your claim to the seat of the family hierarch. A month is a time far too brief for drastic improvement, regardless of for whom it may be. Learning from a proper master for 10 months might teach you a few things, but who knows how long the search for some one-such master might take, not to mention the official channel through which you must bring them past Daguanyan's walls, which may take up to 2 months. Why not relent now and relinquish but a part of your powers as the family hierarch to the board of directors? It seems that this fellow outsider's mental faculties are impressively lacking. She just called her fucking stupid. My lord has spoken in the past that when in the presence of 3 people, at least one of them is bound to be a teacher of mine. And here they are, aren't they? Jashisha's masters, each carrying something new to teach her. All 13. Yeah, there we go. Shigon gestured confidently towards the flabbergasted sinners, and the assembly came to an end. So yeah, there we go. So now that's our correction about why we are involved. Patrick, what is that? Oh, I had to remove that one. All right. Yeah, that is a picture of my cat that I had up there before. I'm gonna guess I knew that they're gonna have some. I'm not sure if the graphic interface they have for the Princess Maker thing is what they're actually doing or not, but we'll see. We were planning on to train Jashishin anyway, but it seems we're not under an unexpected deadline. Hey, what do you said the LCB was going to help me out? Did you guys mean that you're going to publicly humiliate the crap out of me at that assembly? Of course not, Jishin. Big Sister Yanshin's an old snake. You just given her 30 days to set the perfect stage for my downfall to prove to the world once and for all that I'm not qualified at all to be the family hierarch. But Jishin, weren't you always good at humbling everyone who dared to underestimate you? Not so much anymore. Back then, like an idiot, I thought I just had to hold on with everything I had. I thought that's all I ever had to do. But now, things are different. It's true that I'm vastly underqualified to be the handling hierarch, and she's right, I pretty much lucked into this position. She said, don't tell me that woman's bullshit actually got to you. Well, she wasn't completely wrong, right? I'm just some kid who happened to be just good enough to survive some traps and ambushes. I'm afraid that the responsibility of the family hierarch might be too much. Her self-confidence has significantly decreased compared to the observation from our previous interaction. Heck, Jishin, I don't know you being this kind of character. What happened to the girl who looked down on us the moment we met? You even had the audacity to pretend to not know who we were, don't you? Where'd all that confidence go? That actually got under her skin back then, huh? So, Jishin, what do you want to do? Are you sure you're okay with this? Are you okay with letting this happen? If I let it happen, Big Sister Yanchins are going to continue expanding her influence here. I'm sure she and the board of directors have been cozying up to each other for a long time. Is the implication that her testaments on her influence were true? Yep, it's true. Before she left for Corp, Big Sister Yanshin used to always accompany Xiaomu to those assemblies. If we just let them hold the vote of no confidence, they're going to unanimously vote against me and slowly reduce the family hierarchy's scope of powers. Who knows? They might even call for a re-evaluation, however unlikely that sounds. Besides, Big Sister Yanshin, I think her definition of Hong Yuan's prosperity might be different from mine. What she's looking for isn't H-Corp's prosperity, it's Da Guanyan's. I know there's all something to do with its ties to with the Q Core, which I bet has already been going on for a while just under my radar. I'm sure they've already had plenty of talks behind my back. There's not the kind of vision you have for Hong Yuan's future, right? That's why I spoke up against her. My vision for Hong Yuan is I want to change H-Core to be the kind of place where people can live without fear. I just never imagined I had to prove myself like this in only 30 days. Even then, your vision hasn't changed, right? It hasn't. Right, great. So it's decided then, huh? We just need Fao to deliver the bad news to Sade. So to summarize, the responsibility of training Jishin to win these matches, I mean these amorphous tests, upon which it is the family hierarch's fate, in almost every facet of which is entirely under Jia Yanshin's control, by the way, and is probably a trap, within the next 30 days is ours. And we had to explain that to Sade. Wow, looks like there's a lot of work when you put it like that. Some reports have become quite rote. Sometime later, Prithee, thou must impress upon the illustrious red gaze that 'twasn't mine idea this time. Sinclair stared blankly at Don Quixote as she made her desperate plea towards Sade. Yes, and I understand that as well. For the 8th time. As always, Sade was wearing the same refreshingly incomprehensible smile. The kind of smile that makes people increasingly anxious the longer it lasts. Well, that gives us about 30 days, during which the sparring matches, tests, or whatever will be happening as well. Great. Let's give it our best. Sinclair mutters in a near whisper, clearly feeling responsible for what happened. Yes, I understand. I never should have stepped out of line like that, but something just... Yeah, so let's give it our best. I totally agree. We messed everything up again and... Wait, what? The Miss Company was always going to remain here and assist Miss Shashi and acclimatize herself to the responsibilities of the family hierarch. It was always part of her plan. Well, I sure am glad that I took Faust's advice about how meticulous playing is completely pointless when it comes to the LCB's missions. Adara would have had to submit 9 separate disciplinary incident reports back to the J-Corp incident had I known. Really, I should be able to explain this further. Prior to his departure, my lord was concerned that such a thing would come to pass. This is why he has left Jailu and I here to look at the new family hierarch's position, which must still be on rather thin ice. Oh, so that's what they were probably talking. That's what they were probably talking about when he pulled them aside. Doing nothing and allowing her wicked machinations to progress would have irrevocably made the entire board of directors not but putty in Yangshin's hands. Could you give it to TLDR of all that? All I have is China. Of what specifically? of the story to Limits Company so far, or the story to this chapter so far? Because the content are kind of self-contained, but the story of Limits but the story of Limits Company is overarching. The story of Limits Company is we're going around the chapter. Okay, so at the beginning of the chapter, this is a Hong Lu's chapter. Hong Lu is our Bishy boy, who is actually named after the main character from Dream of the Red Chamber, Jia Baiyu. That aside, so you know what the literary reference is, because everybody has a literary reference in these fucking games. We go into H Core, which is this place, in order to get the Golden Bow, the Golden Bow. Because our main objective as Limbus Company is to go around the city and obtain these Golden Bows for power. So far, I think we have maybe 3. We've obtained, I think, 3 functioning Golden Bows. Maybe 4, I forget. Because we lost the first one. Got the second one, got the third one, got the fourth one, so that's 3 right there. Got the 5th one, that's 4. Lost the 6th one, and then, well, the 6th one's inert. And got the 7th and got the 8th. So we have, out of the Golden Bows that we had, that we were supposed to get out of the chapters that we've gone through, out of the 8 chapters we've gone through, we have 6 bows. Which are basically, they're sticks that are very, very powerful. So in order to get this one, we had gone into H Core, and specifically Dongguan, which is basically, as far as I can tell, the Imperial Palace, the Forbidden Palace equivalent in this setting, as the old family hierarch was stepping down, as like basically they were doing a changing of the guard. So the old leader of the corporation / city state, because basically corporations are city states in this universe, the main leader of it was stepping down, and because of that, there was something going on called the family hierarch war, which is basically Fortnite. It's just fucking Fortnite. We won the Fortnite, but we gave up our victory royale to Hong Lu's little sister, and then before she could ascend to the throne, she was brought into the secret underground temple where all the other immortal elders reside, because they all have attained immortality at the cost of basically their humanity and their bodies. And they were going to put in her a mind control worm. We stopped that from happening and rescued her, and this is where we are now. So Jishun is the first leader of the city that has not been taken over by the mind control worm. And because of that, none of the people within the city have any confidence in her, because they're all like, since everybody else has basically been under the influence of the mind control worm, the city never really changed, which is a problem. And now Jishun's trying to bring about that change, but nobody has any confidence in her abilities to do so. That's basically what's going on. So now we have a month to convince the other heads of state that Jishun is right for the job. That's the best I can do about that. And that's where we are right now. We have a month to convince the other heads of state that Jishun is the right person for the job, or else they're going to vote her out of office. That would have led that snake to... And along the way, we also got the shit beaten out of us by Confucius. That's another thing that happened. That snake to de facto assume the seat of the family hierarch. Again, like, they're calling it the family hierarch, but to understand what the family hierarch is, it's basically the CEO of a company. Specifically this company. Because Hongyuan, or H Core, is very much steeped in Chinese tradition. So the family hierarch, or like, you know, the head of the families, the head of the four lords of the families, is basically the CEO of the company. Which is why there was a lot of talk of earnings reports and quarterly projections and stuff like that. It's because they also are the ones who are in charge of that stuff too. Against such an insidious foe who wields intrigue as her weapon, the most viable strategy is the most direct one, to challenge her head on. They're Korean though, right? What do you mean? Like, the residents of the city? Or just in general? The company in the game. Oh. Okay, I'll have to explain this really quickly. Let me pull up a graphic. Give me a second. H-Core are Chinese. It's weird. Let me see. Let's see. Project Moon City. Can I don't know why this is so bad about that. Look at it tab. Okay. I'll explain it here with this graphic once I pull it up here. So give me a second to get desktop catcher up and running. Also, I need to fucking trim this. I need to trim this. Give me a second. This is actually bugging me too. I'll crop it later. It is bugging me, but I'll crop it later. That's fine for this for now. So this is Project Moon City. The city is roughly the size of South Korea. Yeah, it's a huge city. Each city is divided up this way. These are basically borders, and each wing is basically its own letter associated corporation. So you have Q Core here. We're right here in H Core right now. So far we've gone to we started our journey I think in J Core. We went to K. Yeah, we started journey in J Core. We went to K Core. Then we went to U Core. Then to T Core. And then we took a train up to P Core, and now we're in H Core. So that's basically our journey. We basically gone this way, and then took a train up here. And now we're here. So each wing has its own culture associated with it, as well as its own like way of doing, like basically its own governance and its own culture. For example, I forget, J Core we don't really see much of all that much. K Core is very much just like standard South Korea. It's very much like full-on corporate bullshit. That aside, let's see. U-Core is basically seed-sized stuff, so you have like a lot of maritime things, especially piracy. T-Core is the UK. T-Core is straight up Victorian London. From what we've seen of it, T-Core straight up Victorian London. We don't really see much of P-Core at all, so we can't really tell you what that is, but it's probably based off of Spain. And now we're in H-Core, which is based off of ancient China. Yeah. Because T-Core takes place, T-Core is Heathcliff's chapter. That's where we did that one. And Heathcliff's chapter is based off of Wuthering Heights, one of the most quintessential British novels in existence. It is painfully British, where everyone is the fucking worst. Okay. But that's basically an overview of how the city works. And like I said, basically every wing of the city has its own culture. And in the city there are two regions of each wing. There is the nest and there is the back streets. The back streets is just literally any part of the city that is not considered the nest. The nest is basically the corporate center and where all the, like, you know, where all the rich people live. So that's that. And then you have the back streets are basically just like fucking hellscapes. Like they're just urban hellscapes. Especially because there's something called the Night in the Backstreets, which starts at 3:13 a.m. every morning and lasts until 3:20 a.m. Where a bunch of like creatures called sweepers come out and clean out everything in the backstreets that is not supposed to be there, be it garbage or people. And they're basically just like a horde of angry fire ants that are basically people, but kind of not. Because sweepers as existence are basically people sealed inside jars that control like a skinned suit, a literal skinned suit. Let me see if I can pull up a picture of sweepers. Give me a second. Let's see. It's easier to show with a visual aid. Okay, let's see. This is a sweeper. Notice how it's like a person in a suit? That is not the sweeper. That tank is the sweeper. Like literally, that tank right there is the body of the sweeper, and they're controlling this thing. That's how weird the city could get. Yeah, so we're just gonna close that out for a little bit. Also, Psych, how you doing? I didn't see you there. Let me take how long ago that was. That was a little while ago, because for some reason I think I had to refresh my sources. Give me 1 minute. Let me take a look here. What's going on with this? Because I'm only getting Twitch stuff. I'm gonna take a look here. Yeah, it's not working. I had to redo the source. Give me a second. It'll take just like a minute. Stats and logs. See, sources. By sources. All right, there we go. Now we're active. Because I keep forgetting that YouTube on my thing is just kind of shit. And then let me try one more time here. I still have to, I had to redo the entire thing. Let's see. And then all right, close that, and then they just take. I see there's a way to pop this out. I'm sorry, I'm troubleshooting on the fly. Let's see. Action mode. Boom. Let's see, and then just and logs, jump, and ducks. Those are ducks. Hi. All right. Yeah, for whatever reason, I don't know why this is happening. But because I dual stream, I can only see Twitch's chat once in a while. I apologize for this hold up. This is just annoying me. And then modify and activate. There we go. Now they're both working. We're good there. It took a while. But Jesus Christ, I am very sorry about that. Because that just was annoying the hell out of me. Boop, boop. All right, so we'll close that down. Close this down. Besides, has this not given you the excuse you need to prolong your company's stay in Dagwanyan? This is also a prime opportunity for Shashishin to further solidify her influence here, depending on the outcome of the vote of non-confidence. They have played right into our hands by accepting this deal. So I don't want to rain on anyone's parade, but are we not even going to consider what might happen if we fail? No, we are not, because you will not fail, not with us aiding your efforts. Also, Were you serious back there when you said that we were all going to teach Jiachi Shun, all 12 of us? I won't object to selecting only a few with better aptitude to be educators. By the way, we have already an established internal hierarchy based on the sum of each of our abilities. Of course, the results weren't entirely to my satisfaction due to an unexpected incident. Miss Otis, that is a statement mired in narrowed visions, rife with factual refractions. I am of the stance that the qualities of a good teacher are refined by not by such statistics. God damn it. You song slapping back with her. So you must be the one who placed last in that list. Yeah, exactly. Just don't say anything, bud. Best not to stand out like a sore thumb. I may have overreacted then. My lord has said that from the virtuous we may learn to replicate their merits, and from the flawed we may learn to avoid their failings. So long as the student is willing to learn, anything can be a teacher. I also, to embrace this teaching, seek from all those who we come across. Just what the heavens are you doing? I am preparing a lesson plan for young Jishun, our family hierarch. So what are these yellow wormy things here? There's a star, twinkle twinkling in its rain. What? According to the schedule you prepared, the student will have -3 hours available for sleep. The lesson plan's execution will require cooperation from T-Corp. It would be a mistake most fatal indeed. I shall correct it post-haste. Jigon was staring at Don Quixote's expression with of her wild artistic merit upon the correcting them which her usual crescent moon eyes. Let's see. Wait, is that supposed to be Kong's grimace? Of course, to each their own, I suppose. I need not be shaken by every little thing until we have their actual lesson plans in hand. Hey, thanks for putting your faith in us, Shigong. We barely have any that go around ourselves, so I understand it couldn't have been that easy. I could say that I have learned my lesson. Recent events have taught me that the path to learning is truly one without end. Yeah, we're not. Yeah, we're just like getting this stuff because we even haven't gotten to a farming stage yet. Another student, which is what is it? Sinclair, I believe. I'd say that you have all individually worked on your lesson plans as per Jigong's request. Oh, that's Jai Lu without her helm, without her like dressing. Hold on, shouldn't there be 13 of them? Even the executive manager decided to spare their precious time to teach a class. What does it say? Yeah, you guys need a total of 12 lesson plans. Yeah, I had them in my lesson plan too. And that is because. So who didn't do their homework? After be silent, so everyone turned around and looked at one of the sinners. Ain't me. Oh, please, at least try to make a compelling argument. Who else other than you could possibly... It's me. You Sync? You've been acting out of character a lot recently. What's going on? Well, that's, Claire was drenched in sweat for some reason. Actually, in Claire's seat was a large stack of papers, each filled to the brim with writing. And Claire, these papers... I'm done. Sorry, I got too into making a lesson plan. I just couldn't stop myself from writing. Sinclair couldn't have appeared more proud as he placed that big bowl of sweat-soaked papers in Shilu's hands. I like how she has a little rabbit pin here. I had to check something real quick. I had to check something. Okay, yeah, because the Shai Lu usually does not look like that. She's usually like wearing a full like outfit, like a full ensemble that covers up her face entirely. She has like a facial wrap and she has like a Akasa hat. Also, I don't know what the weapon is on her back, but it normally is like not this thing. And she receives it with mild trepidation. Give me a second. I'm putting it back my my shrimp crackers because I've been just stomping on those for a little while. Ow. Okay. You seem to have dedicated quite the momentous effort in drawing up this lesson plan. What's up with her? Let's start reviewing from the first of the stack. 108 analytical approaches from to an estate's AAA. What does AAA mean? How do you plan to explore all 108 approaches in a month? Appreciated in an art of artistry and assassinations? What? Oh, Ryoshu? F you. We went too far. F you went too far. Right, sorry. Web page to continue reading this for those 108 approaches. What paint did you use? It's quite vicious and the paper is partially melted. Lady, watch yourself. You almost got some on my arm. A painting. Jailu. Entrails. Coding the world. Now you know how aesthetics approach the artistry of slaughter. So what the hell did you paint on that paper? Hey, get it together! Jailu stumbled briefly. Whatever was on the paper must have given her quite the shock. My mind wandered a moment. Are you okay? This is too dangerous to be used for a lesson. Thus it goes in the discard pile. Weak sauce. What? Real shit, why are you saying weak sauce? I have a feeling that the new trades are too memey for their own good tonight. This is just one example of that. Jailu crumbled up the paper without hesitation and tossed it out of sight. Next, Intro to Societal Reintegration. Impressive title. Chapter 1. How to shake hands with your left hand when the situation calls for it. Chapter 2. Exploration of exclusively long sleeve fashion and practice. Yep, Gregor, with this fucking claw. Chapter 3. Appreciate confidence on why having a bug arm is totally cool. That's, you know how it is. Be proud of who you are and on that philosophy stuff. I want this to give a bit of a paradigm shift where we can all come to see our flaws not as failings, but as evidence of our individuality. What's all shit in a world where we can carry on with our lives no matter what kind of art we have? Discard. Next. Jailu quickly flipped through the pages. Enter to denigrative linguistics. Subheading the power of words, sticks and stones so we break their bones, so let's add words to the pile. Microtouches include the ability to dress down an opponent so hard they fall to their knees and beg me to stop. I have plans for application as well. This doesn't teach meds for pertaining to disguising comments and criticism and vice versa. God damn it. All this seems rather difficult to learn. I included from my hitherto observation that Joshi student is an individual of great promise in this field. Follow my instructions to a T, and I guarantee you that this cadet shall be able to have the upper hand in any verbal confrontations. Is this a curriculum to make the best brawler or the best friendly hierarch out of me? Jailu seemed quite interested, but Jashi's vehement veto eventually overruled the suggestion. On justice, another. Oh God, Don. Subheading: methodologies of captivating an entire room of preoccupied audience. Discard. Fine on thee. Wherefore? Next, yeah, just tossing out immediately Don's effort, even though it's actually made well. Rather than vigorously converting into mere conflict between the self and the reflection and paradoxic fracture theory of idealism, in which one attempts to open an unopening door to open the door. Utterly incomprehensible. Discard. Perhaps Yoshiyoshi's advice to truncate the lesson title should have been taken in earnest. God damn it, Yisang. Survival and exploration. 21 reasons to pay attention to the exploration. Team leader is giving advice in the upcoming adventure. Case study for 30 horrible mistakes that occurred because the team was distracted during the leader's lecture. Is this Ishmael? How to track down a troublemaker who tries to sweep trouble under the rug while the team leader isn't looking. Someone ignored my advice that we should have been moving 2 sets ahead. Finally, I've narrowed them down to 3 culprits. This is Ishmael. Wait, I forgot to take that part out. And into the shredder it went. When did that paper shredder get here? She just had it. The art of using yawning as a cover for popping a cookie or two into your mouth, especially useful when getting lectured. That's Heathcliff. Oh no, Roja. Hey, if you get good enough at it, you can do that with nuts too. So it was you who made this crunchy noise during our last meeting. What are you taking for, an amateur? The art of social maneuvers, how to let it flow through you. How to not make things awkward when you walk in on someone, right in on someone bad-mouthing you. Hong Lu, the most important part is to flash a refreshing smile that in a way that looks earnest. It helps when you convince yourself that smiling is what brings good fortune. Smile is our way to starring people, giving them pause and making them hesitate. I remember that. Big Bro used that technique to confuse a lot of Dan Guanyan people who hated him. I see. This is... I can't bring myself to throw this into the shredder. Next. How to maintain complete stillness for a week until the next command is received and result. This lesson plan was designed based on Rodian's advice that I must prioritize strengths that are unique to myself. Look, in my defense, I didn't know he considered that to be his unique strength, okay? Let's consider whether staying in complete stillness for a week is a quality one may seek in the family hierarch. This one is certainly interesting. What separates bravado from bravery? Jack shite, sawed off and grab your weapons. Yeah, I've always got to read the full print. It's my philosophy that reason doesn't necessarily need to be considered before coming to blows. Martial prowess is indeed an indispensable part of the family hierarch's qualities, but our focus is not developing a hierarch of a syndicate. Next, information disparity as a driver of inequitable treatment. Oh, that's actually the most interesting sounding one. Is that Dante's? I'm trying to think of who hasn't gone yet. It's either Dante or Sinclair. And the applications of engineering frameworks. Oh, this is Faust. Okay, it's kind of losing me, but I'm still on board. For systemic resolution of in rational self-interest driven societies, and yeah, it's Faust. Is it still going? That was 1/5 of the full title. He sees that the same trouble has hindered both you and I. Every word in that title was added for its absolute necessity. Indeed, indeed. It she had gone through the majority of our lesson plans and shredded them all. Finally. Now that's over. Yes, it's finally my turn. Sinclair sighed with the gravity to someone who's just been with the most important mission of his life. Thinking back, even back in school, I used to daydream about becoming a teacher myself. I thought I could be good at it. So I guess I could say that I'm pretty happy to be given an opportunity like this. I call my lesson The Theory of Self-Overcoming. We had to accept that everyone stumbles at first, but I always trying to be a better person than I was yesterday. Hey, but what if I like who I was yesterday more? That's okay. Everyone has their own unique potential for sleeping deep inside. So with everything I've learned and experienced so far, let me teach you. Let me teach you how to not doubt your own capabilities. How to always shoot higher. Hold on. You had me for a second there. What's up with acting like you're an infinitely more enlightened person than I am? Of course, I prepared to speak English so you can learn how to speak with modesty too. I never would imagine Sinclair would be this into it. Yeah, too bad he's so into it that he's not even listening to what Jishin's saying. Not only that, your company's seen that Shadlu has completed her review. Oh, I see. How's that going, everyone? Class prep going well? No, it is not. My curriculum most especial. Okay, so that's a no. That was Sally's impression upon taking a quick glance at Don Quixote, who was sobbing and cradling the shredded pieces of her lesson plan in her hands. Well, it wasn't a complete bust, at least. Sinclair's lesson plan survived. Ms. Zhigong, Miss Sade, I prepared a full 30 days worth of lesson plans. Would you like to take a look? But Zhigong and Sade were looking at the dozen lesson plans Sinclair presented so proudly before their eyes. They were looking away. What? Okay, what happened? Zhigong especially was looking away with an unmistakable expression of pity. So he doesn't know. Would you mind explaining this, Shai Lu? I could not bring myself to tell him. Apologies. This young man produced an entire sizable stack of lesson plans all on his own. I see. We just found his way into the heart in the face of such earnest efforts. I understand. However, it has been decided that Sinclair will not be participating in one of Josh Shishin's teachers. Or should I call you pupil Sinclair to be exact? Yeah, oh yeah, he'll be another student. This has got to be a mistake, right? Isn't Jishin the pupil here? No, there haven't been any mistakes. My lord has especially instructed that you are to learn from this as well. What? What? Seriously? Yeah, what? This isn't right. Guys, this isn't right. Now this looks like a proper classroom. It would have felt pretty gigantic with just Jishin sitting here on her own, don't you think? Besides, I bet Stink's the resident expert on going to schools, right? School's a luxury for me, you know. Yeah, maybe, but that doesn't mean I ever wanted to go back to school. You should learn to be grateful. I don't dole out my teachings to just anyone. Don't forget we have to read the whole lesson plan under their supervision. Otis, you always get on your soapbox to try to lecture everyone about something after every single battle anyway. And you, Ishmael, you always get hyper-fixated on something. Once you find something interesting, you never stop talking about it for 3 hours at least, and I will ensure you that you receive the best education I can provide, Sinclair. Hold on, is she just going off on everybody here? I thought we were the underdog duo. Remember during the check when I said we got this? We were going to get this together. The evaluation painted a twisted picture on the true scale of strength, the sole measure of which erroneously relied entirely on physical might. I should not hesitate to impart knowledge for those who require education. Congratulations, my lady. You have found yourself a desk mate, of which some also call a bestie, depending on desk placement. Yeah, no. Desk mate bestie, what the heck does any of that mean? Yushin's eyes were widened with confusion as though she just heard those words for the first time in her life. When I first met her when she was 16, she explained to me that she hadn't attended any school-like institutions. This is part of the course for children of Hong-Yuan who are raised with the purpose of becoming the next family hierarch. The reason being that schools can be a perfect place to assassinate somebody. Yeah, makes sense. Let's see. So Decimates and Besties. Let's see. Sinclair began to explain, seemingly resigned to the fact that he was essentially going back to school for a month with the other students. Give me a second. I'm going to just do something very quickly, just because this is annoying me. Do this. Yeah, I'm going to try to crop this out a little bit. Then there you go. That's better. And then I think if I just do this, I'll just, yeah. It's fine for now. Usually sit next to each other to help one another out, yeah. I best you might nudge the other awake when they doze off, share their homework with one another if one forgot to do theirs. They usually end up being included in the best memories of each other's school time. So not very important at all, huh? I think I got this on my own. I don't need a bestie. It may have come a few years late, but I am moved that my lady finally has a chance at experiencing school. Same here. I remember like yesterday, Jishin would sit and watch other kids walk to school from a distance, tears welling in her eyes. Yeah, there we go. Dude! Oh, that reminds me. One day, out of nowhere, she just started saying something about eating from lunchboxes with friends. I haven't a clue as to how or where she even heard about that, but she stuck it to the kitchen and... Wait, don't you guys have lessons plans to write? Come on, hurry up. These 30 days are ticking down. We've only got 30 days. Of course, unfortunately, I have become quite occupied with another task of great importance, assisting Wei with indexing and reviewing various documents that are critical and in need of organizing. Thus, I must lead the lesson planning task to you two, Xia Lu and Miss Sade. Have you any thoughts of this matter? Slacker. What was that? I said nothing. God damn. I don't know, they've grown on me a lot recently. I love it. We're doing very well for ourselves here. A little bunny, yeah. Alright, so did that. Oh yeah, here we go. We actually are gonna get to do the thing now. We're gonna get to do the Princess Maker. Shilu and Saudi appear to have aged several years overnight, their faces sunken and sallow. Finally, after referring to the idiosyncrasies and various statistical data available to us regarding each sinner, we've managed to come up with an appropriate curriculum. Miss Shilu, apologies. Oh yeah, they have bags. She has bags under her eyes now. Sleep deprivation has relieved me of clear mind. The path of an educator is truly a grueling one. Marching to battle would be much easier. Still, thanks to Mr. Shakshi's methodology you shared, we managed to find a way to make this quite efficient. Get the fuck out of here. Efficient, huh? To be a true family hierarch, there are dozens, hundreds of virtues one must understand and master. However, to do so in 30 days, as promised, is an implausible effort. Thus, we have categorized the countless virtues into 3 super categories, and they are called... What? What are these supposed to be? Qi, Yang, and Ren. Qi, wisdom. The wise lose neither people nor words. To hold one's silence in need, hold one's silence in need of speech shall cost them people. To speak in need of silence shall cost them words. A reasonable sequence of logic. Young, courage. The ability to overcome fear and act decisively. Have too much of it and risk becoming a brute. Have too little and risk becoming a craven. It needs harmony and balance. So how far are we allowed to go with the corporal punishment again? I recall no instance of any discussion regarding corporal punishment. And Ren, humanity, is the benevolence of the heart, the compass of behavior that dictates respect towards every human. Clearly, most of the faculties of this school are severely lacking in all 3 of your criteria. How do you think they'll be able to teach the students anything? Yeah, like a certain someone who needs a lesson in Ren. Are you sure I'm in good hands? Just what the heck am I supposed to learn here? Where's Wei? Mr. Wei and Miss Zhigong are currently preoccupied with handling the monumental task of, paperwork. Right, Mr. Wei wanted me to deliver this message to you. Be strong, my lady. Wait! Despite her protestations, the 30 days of class has commenced. Yeah, we actually got to do this shit. Let's take a look at this. The goal in this game was to raise the main stats as high as possible over the course of 30 class days. Each class specializes in raising different stats. Some classes might even raise or lower the students' morale values. Class can either end in success or failure. A successful class will greatly increase the amount of stat gain, while a failed class will greatly reduce the amount of stat gain. The higher morale results in higher chance to have a successful class. The class combos or class combinations give certain bonus effects when those classes are taken the same day. Once you discover a combo, you can preview its activation on the schedule menu. Thanks to Jeremy Geniuses, you all discover on the combo list there. Once you select all your classes, begin class button. You can select begin class button to begin class. Classes progress automatically. During class, you can view the students changing stat values in real time. A class gets XP. Once a class XP has been maxed out, the class will be upgraded to the next level. Taking higher level classes will yield more stat increases. Please note that classes cannot be upgraded beyond Master. Raising Shi, Yang, or Ren stats beyond a specific level, upgrading a class at a certain level will enhance the student's combat prowess. These enhancements are applied separately for Shishun and Sinclair. Such a matter I can review Shishun's detailed stats. Certain days, the combat encounters may occur in place of classes. Shishun will be participating in these encounters on her own. Skill slots are chained automatically. Press the gong-shaped button to begin the combat phase. Okay, so yeah, it literally is just a princess simulator. So okay, so the first day we can't really do anything. Yeah, there you go. My name is Yisung. That is all. That's how I prepare for the day. I heard play about your mirror tech, which makes me wonder. Going by the level of advancement in that technology, couldn't you approach it from a different angle? You know how technological advancement usually goes. People invent for the sake of creation, only to have their inventions inevitably warped into weapons of destruction. Indeed, you show much promise already. As you surmise now, the mirror has, in the past, almost been employed to shatter possibilities instead of reflecting them. I'm sure it's the angle most others wanted to see happen. Removal of potential risk sounds much more palatable than potential itself to some people, after all. Correct again. Yet destruction was a word that bore too much suffering for my heart. My sole egress from it was abandonment of my quondam velos and my life's work, making myself a fugitive from the past. How'd you bring yourself to just abandon it all? I conversed. With who? With the self that lies within me. As you're aware, the mirror's reflection extends beyond the veils of our own reality. It reflects the potentialities, the latent strength, and the world. Yet, even among them, the reflection of the greatest importance is that of the self. Let not the innumerable worlds of the mirror enchant your gaze. First, one must direct their studies inward and reflect upon oneself. Kong and Sinclair groan. Now, if you are prepared, do explain what you see in the mirror. You needn't haste. For some reasons, you shouldn't appear to hesitate before the mirror. Hey, you know, it's been a while since I looked into the mirror for so long. My lady, do you recall Shinjen of the Shi family who contacted you for a meeting? Yeah, the guy who said he was going to show me a precious flower that blooms only at night. I remember that you were vehemently against me going out there, so I stayed inside. I wonder what kind of flower it was. Don't you actually looking forward to meeting him, my lady? Oh, of course not. You were wise to stay inside. It was revealed that you weren't the only person who was invited, my lady. That vile man had hired a group of assassins to ambush the meeting spot. Who would have been waiting there to spring the trap had you gone. But apparently he was outplayed and had his limbs and head torn off as punishment. What a relief, isn't it? I guess. I'm glad I didn't go away. You were right. If only you had the Wu branch under your control. Stop it. We agreed to move on from that, remember? We don't have to talk about it. I was brushing my hair and looking in the mirror as we were talking, but I realized I no longer recognized the girl in the mirror. I don't know why, but I just found it so hard to meet her eyes. Once I brushed it off, because I had to. Experience like that was going to be a common occurrence anyway, and the family hierarchy was always looming on the horizon. Perhaps what you felt then may have been shame. But it was paramount to face oneself nonetheless. And Sinclair, what do you see? I see... Well, I just see myself smiling. I don't see what's so out of the ordinary. But it seemed like Sinclair couldn't really bring himself to face the mirror. Okay, I try what does this because I think I understand something now. Now that I've had some quiet time to look at my reflection, I think I have the Concord probably like that hidden away for a long time. But because it's bothering me. I'll have to get a little hammer later because my water bottle is bothering me. I had to be more true to myself by looking into the mirror, yep. At a very precious time learning to converse with my inner self, yep. Alright, so yeah, Zhigong Ren. Yep. Alright, let's try this then. I have Dawn, Be Passionate and Dream On, Fix Your Tails. that, and then he has very high Ren right now because of Yi-Sung. And the set, we have to get the stats up to as high a value as it can be. It is true that a station of teaching is prone to imbue one with a sense of bashfulness. It's clear and she shouldn't both sat with a bit of apprehension as well, which is understandable given that Sally told them sometime before the lesson started. Some time ago, Otis, who had been going daggers at Don Quixote for a good while, finally decided to voice her doubts to Sade. So what is Don Quixote that woman supposed to teach? Have you not considered that her usual flippancy might only cause more trouble than it's worth? You worry too much, Otis. Also, you may not look it, Don Quixote is extremely well versed in those adventure tales. And why would any of that matter? Have you not considered the fact that fixers often appear when history is in the making? You got a bot? Yeah, I know, I got rid of it. What was it? The chemical whatever it is. Yeah, I banned them already. I banned them a little while ago. Have you considered yourself? Yeah. Don't worry about it. I banned them. I got rid of them. Have you considered yourself the fixtures often appear when history in the making? If you saw that message, I think you're probably using BTTV where you see banned people's messages. But yeah, they've been banned. Let us see here. Yeah, that's probably why. It's all band messages. Yep. Don Quixote took a second to savor the moment, though she had been preparing her whole life for it, and then continued. Amongst the greatest fixtures of those honors, against whose honors names were in great history. Very. Let us commence this with a tale of Fixer Yue Fei. This tale beginneth in the year, sometime later. Are you done? Just how could she continue to talk at such length? She's been going for ages. Let's come with the time to test thy dedication to this class, and the knowledge that should naturally come with it. A pop quiz if thou wilt. Where'd she find the time to prepare this? I can assure thee, this is a quiz of entirely reasonable difficulty if thou hast paid attention in class. Worry thee not. This pop quiz have prizes. Aha, but of course, I came prepared for such a great. For each incorrect answer, I shall bestow upon thee, from the very treasure chest of mine, these precious fixers badges. Forsooth, I did not let a single day go by in which I did not polish each and every one of them on 3 separate occasions at the very least. I don't know, I don't really need them. Hold that applause, for there's a buzzer for the victor who, by the end of this match, carries more badges. Thou shalt obtain the role of protagonist in the theatrical play of my making, Fictional Chronicles Yue Fei. 'Tis an opportunity of a lifetime. It's not really... It's not doing anything for either of us. It's still a pretty useful word, but we're turning this into a competition I won't lose. Seriously? What, scared you'll lose? Is history your weakness or something? I'll have you know that I was a teacher's pet in every single history class I took. And I'll have you know that I was, no matter the study, showered with praise for every master I ever had. Okay, that's what you want to play. I'll have you know that I was a prodigy in other classes too. I did great in art classes, pretty good at math too. I was just being home because I didn't want to steal your thunder, Jishin. Oh, and let me tell you that I was straight to the mastery of at least 10 different disciplines every single day. And on one of those days, you know what one of my masters told me? He said... Looks like Jishin's finally getting a feel for how Frenches in close in age are fours in school. Dante, what are you doing here? That's good. No matter how excellent your masters were, there are some experiences you just can't learn from teachers. I TikToked in response. He didn't even say anything. Choose your 505. What is the historical community's consensus on the most illustrious battle that Fixer Yue Fei is said to have partaken in? Allow me to impart to thee a major clue. If thou had paid attention as I discourse upon the 5 pillages of which the Fixer Yue Fei was mentioned, this should not be a difficult question to answer. The Honorable Fixer of the Cerulean Heaven, who attained triumph in the Battle of Rhino Tree in year 465, has said what was the worst ordeal she had to face in her career. I've got it. Somebody had to forge armor despite watching your dear comrades fall one by one as they held the line to buy her time. Damn it, I was too slow. Oh, young Jishin, thou art incorrect. Honorable Fixer of the Cerulean Heaven is recorded to have testified that the worst ordeal in her career was that when she was forced to stand before her enemies with hair that was not luscious, as the supply line of Reagan's constituted regular delivery of nutritional supplements to seize. What thou hast suggested, young Jishin, was her 17th most difficult ordeal. Hold on a second. This is fucking ridiculous. Yeah, it's like, is Ricardo a descendant of the cerulean heaven? Because her hair was not luscious. She had entered the world of the bristly. She's speaking like she was actually there. I mean, she probably was. That impression is quite understandable, for I am trained in the ways of vividly regaling these tales. But these are tales I have learned from books. Most of these tales I have learned from books. Much that I anticipated an opportunity to regale these tales to such an audience, and not to study the ways of minstrels. There was a clear look of pride in her twinkling eyes. Yeah, she's having fun with this. And of course she has like Super Sentai figures. I'm certainly fine with hearing tales of exciting adventures. What was the secret technique of the IRL fixer Lysander employed in his resolution of the case of the Fey Forest? Speak its name in full. I've got it. It's a summer night fantasia. I cannot let pass such an unmotivated retelling of the super ultra move. Hardly could one internalize the true noble spirit of fixers by simply reciting with such apathy. Thou must recreate the exact pose of the Annunciation. You kidding me? Come on, you can do this, Shun. You can do this. This is nothing. Illusions of a midsummer night shall devour thee whole. And there, yep, she's posing. And then Don's crying. Thy enunciation was quite shaky upon the word illusions, yet thou hast demonstrated sufficient courage. I will bestow upon thee this badge. I grow tired of this nonsense. Just how much longer are you planning to drag this on? The mother of the hero then declared, I shall tear this evil storm asunder and find a place for this blade at the center of thy heart. Dante, lights, let's... Oh my god! Alright, whatever, lights, let's start. Don Quixote was watching Sinclair and Jishin's two-person play, suddenly wiped her tears away. Bravo. Certain minor details were missed, such as Yue Fei, the fixer, was left-handed, and that he had a habit of playing with a lighter in his left pocket for every duel, yet it was a wonderful reenactment indeed. I have no other critique to impart upon thee. One faced with the great adversity in thy adventures, rekindle the memory of Yue Fei, the fixer's final duel, and remember it well. Thus cometh to an end the lessons of today. It's just for a moment, but I think I'm starting to get it. I get why she's so obsessed with fixtures. Let's tell you, Jishin's hands were the badges Don Quixote had gifted to her. Yep. Yep. Okay, let's see what we got here. So the other two we can do is I was saying the city native engineering has practices. Okay, so you can only have like what is it? There we go. That's good. We're gonna end the stream after this is done, I think. If we can. This is a component taken from the structure of the former H Corp. This may prove an opportunity to conduct an in-depth analysis on the nature of the former H Corp singularity, which has been enduring for such a long time. What kind of upbeat today, Miss Faust? Indeed, an opportunity to study the old age course singularity is not one that comes often. As there was potential for integration into Mephistopheles, I made a request to disassemble a part of the bus's engine, but was denied. A shame. Aren't you the one who built Mephistopheles, though, Miss Faust? Mephistopheles is indeed Faust's work, but not all of it was mine. It is possible that Faust may never reveal every small detail that went into its creation. Oh, okay, so it was basically an effort by the entire Gesellschaft, and only our Faust was privy to some of it. I would very much enjoy a chance to completely disassemble even its engine so that it could be reassembled with my own hands. Yeah, sure. Based on the skills I learned, I managed to recreate the model of a machine based on Faust's blueprint, and it blows up in their fucking faces. So that's how it works. I think I get it. I didn't think this is how I get to learn more about the old H-Core. I don't think I can do much against the reconstruction days right now, but this knowledge will certainly come in handy when the day comes for me to gradually dismantle that iniquitous thing. The day when Hong-Yuan can be a place where people can live without fear. Without the fear of encroaching reconstruction days, without obsessively counting their ruins to see if they'll fall or not, the Hong-Yuan can be a place where you can sleep with the promise of safe tomorrows. And she'll pull it off. Oh, I learned a lot during the season too, Miss Fast. What? Oh, yeah. The voltage must have been set too high. Repeating experiment with a different combination of fuses and wires. There's supposed to be a lesson somewhere in there, right? Yep. Picture association studies completed for dummies. Yep. So it actually gives us gives us two commas that we can work with. Yep, and both of them, and Don Quixote leveled up. One second, can we leave this? To window. Let's take a look. Because I'm going to check real quick. Yeah, it literally is just Princess Maker for 30 days. And then we have a bunch of, and then we have even more events afterwards. What the fuck? So we're going to resume this probably tomorrow because I am, what time is it now? It's only been like, what, 2 hours? How long has it been? Let me take a look. Not even that. It's just taking a very long time, but it's also taking a lot out of me. Like, holy shit. So I think I'm going to actually call it early. So, this is taking a lot out of me. This is actually taking a lot out of me. I can't do stat sheets like this all that often because I don't know what it is about this, but still, we'll finish it tomorrow. We will finish it tomorrow. I think it's just because this is also just very, very story heavy. But yeah, we'll work on it tomorrow. But other than that, that is everything that we need to do. Have a great day, guys. Good night. Bye-bye.